Hey guys, it's FishingThePNW. I know I'm more than a month late on this, but I'm going to be going over July's Lucky Tackle Box. A lot of stuff happened. I've just been extremely busy, and unfortunately my GoPro Hero 3 Plus Silver Edition went into the lake while I was on vacation. And I got another GoPro, so now I'm finally getting around to this video. Alright, so let's dive into this box. Alright guys, well we have our Lucky Tackle Box. Let's go ahead and get started. So the first bait that we get is a hard bait. It's a Copper's Live Target Gizzard Shad. This retails for $12.99. Let's go ahead and open it up here. This is a pretty small crankbait, so this would be great as a finesse crankbait or just be great as a multi-species crankbait. Something this size is going to be good for bass, but it's also going to be good for trout. It's going to be good for panfish and pretty much anything that swims. It has a great realistic finish to it. It's got what looks like a black top with a gold forehead. It's got a dark blue on the upper side and fades to silver as it goes down. You know, a very natural gizzard shad pattern, and let's see, the rattle's pretty quiet on this one actually. Like I said, it'll be a good finesse crankbait, and this particular model is supposed to dive 3 to 5 feet, and it's 2 inches long, and it only weighs 3/16 of an ounce. So this is a very, very light crankbait. If you have the proper bait cast setup, you probably can get, you know, somewhat decent casting distance out of this, but a crankbait that's this light, it would probably be better fished on a spinning rod. So again, that's the Copper's Live Target Gizzard Shad. Next up is the Black Angel Lures Intruder Swimbait Head. Comes in, this particular model is green pumpkin, and it's 3/8 ounce, and this retails for $5. This is a very interesting head if you want to look at it here. It's pretty much like a triangle shape. It's got a screw lock in the front, and does it say what the hook size is? No, this package does not say what size the hook is, but it's a pretty beefy hook. It's got some flex to it, but it also seems like it'll be pretty stout. Hook point is pretty dang sharp. So this is a swim bait head, and I'm not too sure what I think about this head yet. I'm not a big fan of the design, but because of where the screw lock is and just the design of this head, I would probably recommend using a type of hollow, maybe like a hollow belly swim bait or anything that has a slit underneath for the belly slot. And yeah, this is kind of interesting. I'm not too sure if I'll actually fish this one, but again, it's cool and it's fairly new from what I hear. Next up is a Fishing Physics Grub, which retails for $4. And you guys can take a look at the package here. This is kind of interesting. So this is a 3-pack of grubs, and they're individually packaged, and there's a lot of liquid in here, so I'm assuming that's what the scent is. And I don't want to pull it out because it will get all over my hands, but basically it just looks like a standard grub. Let's see what this package here says. It says it's engineered to mimic natural eggs. Scent molecules and amino acids are continuously released into the water, and there's a hydrogel core and high visibility surface gel. So there's probably some interesting things about this grub. And I haven't fished a grub on a little jig head in so long, but again, that's a great finesse presentation that'll catch not only bass but all species of fish. And honestly, if I fish this, I would probably fish it on maybe like a swim jig or like a chatterbait or even like a spinnerbait trailer. Or if I really wanted to go back to basics, just throw it on a little 1/4 ounce or 1/8 ounce, you know, jig head. Again, grubs have caught bass for a very long time, so I'm sure these will work great. Next up is a pack of Mustad hooks. These are wide gap / shiner hooks. It's a 3-piece package, and it comes in size 1/0. So here in Washington, it's pretty much illegal to use live bait. The only thing you can really use that's live is essentially, what is it? Probably either maybe sand shrimp in the ocean or night crawlers. So this is definitely an interesting looking hook. I'm not sure how well you can see it. I don't really know what I would particularly use this for here. It's kind of an odd shaped hook, and it's a pretty big hook. I guess, I don't know. I don't know if I would even really wacky rig with it, but honestly, if I was going to use this hook, I would probably use it while bottom fishing with cut bait in the ocean. So this is a very, very stout hook, and as usual, Mustad hooks are really sharp. So I'm sure these are great hooks, but I just don't see myself personally using these for bass fishing. And next up is a surprise item that retails for $4.99, and the Mustad hooks, they also retail for $4.99. But the surprise item is made by a company called Blackhawk Custom Baits. This bait is called the Mongrel. The color is watermelon red, and it's a 5-pack. This is probably the coolest item in the entire box. Look at that. So if you look at it, it's essentially a cross between a beaver and a ribbon-tail worm. So that's going to have a lot of swimming action, so this will probably be great as a chatterbait trailer, swim jig trailer, or you could just Texas rig it. You could probably Carolina rig it. I bet it would be great on a Carolina rig, actually. So yeah, that's a cool looking bait. Companies are always trying to come out with new soft plastics, and there's only so many ways you can design worms and craws, but this is actually something that's quite unique and something that you won't see a lot of. So I'm definitely interested or excited to fish this. What I would most likely do, honestly, is probably just drag it on Carolina rig. That's something that I've been trying to get more into, and you can Carolina rig with heavy line on a bait caster, or with a heavy weight like a 3/4 to 1 ounce, or you can do a finesse Carolina rig with a spinning rod setup and light line, and maybe like a 1/4 to 3/8 ounce. So either way, I think this bait is definitely going to get bit. Watermelon red is definitely one of my all-time favorite colors, and it produces well here in Washington. Last up is Dr. Dan's lip balm. This is a bonus free item, and it's just a sample pack of lip balm. Alright, that does it for all of the items. Again, these Lucky Tackle boxes, they come with a Fish Hound magazine, and this month's topics are catch more bass. Catch more bass than ever. I'm not sure if that was on purpose or a typo. And that's talking about bait mods. And there's riser bait from the dead, walking bass. I looked at the magazine, it's basically talking about topwater walking baits. And then there's study the art of the frog retrieve, and that goes into a few different pros and how they fish their frogs. So this is definitely going to be a good read. Alright guys, that does it for the Lucky Tackle box for July. Again, I'm sorry it took me so long. All I can say is that life happens.